The OTS Championships brought quite the interesting meta challengers out of the woodwork. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. We have your OTS Championship breakdown for this event, and you know what? I think that this is a pretty interesting one to really showcase. Tenpai took the lead. Now, this is not an abnormality across the board. The majority of the OTS Championships that took place over the past weekend, I've heard pretty much the same thing. It was, some sort of Tenpai domination. Snake Eyes, honestly, across the board was struggling a little bit. Tenpai has a really good track record of smashing through 4 or 5 round events. Like, even though Fiendsmith Snake Eyes is, a pretty reliable deck, you've got to look at just the short power bursts that this deck can actually do, and it's very interesting to see. Now, we also had 2 Yubel for this particular championship, which, once again, that's fine. Yubel's definitely up there in terms of taking down your competition. All right. Now, this event also only had 1 Snake Eyes in your representation. So RIP to the Snake Eyes duelist out here for actually really trying out here, But your challengers for this event was actually Flaundery's duelist. I heard a lot of flu success out of the weekend out here. I think that there is some interesting ideas to be had out here with Flu kind of returning back to the meta. It definitely does open up the doors to, just watching, the degenerate floodgates, pushing your opponent through and not having fun. And then we also had a Chimera branded deck entering into the spotlight out here. And I do think Chimera branded was definitely a little bit unexpected for the ideas. I've heard innovations with some of the evil hero stuff kind of coming out of the woodwork for people messing around with ideas, so we'll have to wait and see in the list here what craziness waits. Let's pass on over to those deck lists. Surprise, surprise, our winning list for this event was actually the Yubel Fiendsmith deck. And this duel was actually fully prepared because we have the Curry Photon down here saying no, 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 no to the meta. Oh, okay, well, that's actually really, really nice to see. You gotta give credit where credit's due out here. Yeah, we have a lot of troublesome cards in today's meta. A lot of people are playing cards to try to counteract things. And, of course, Spooky Dogwood also tries to help alleviate, some of the craziness out here that kind of comes with this. Full Fiendsmith package built into this. That's going to be your tail for the rest of this format. You're going to see people out here trying out, full power gas with this stuff just so they can try and, get to where they need to be. Dark Beckoning Beast and the Chaos Summoning Beast now being your 1/1/3 line. Yeah, that's pretty much the norm. I wonder how Yubel will find a way to try to evolve as we kind of head on into the next list out here. But we will have to wait and see. Progress will be made. Ooh, our Tenpai list. Still only playing 1 Fadra. Only 2 Genroku as well. Okay. Now, this list did go pretty crazy on the board breakers. I mean, you have the Droplets, you have the Raigekis, you have the Lightning Storms, you have, okay, sure, the Cheese out here. You also do have the Change of Heart in here as well. Take control of your opponent's stuff, bring it on over to your field, call it a day. This list is also playing the Chimera Drago. This is the kind of stuff I like to see. I've been very pro Drago in the side deck. There was a time where people weren't playing the Drago, but you have to have cards to counteract the Yubel matchup. Yubel will just ruin your day if you're not prepared for it. And that's one of the scariest things that you have to think about out here is, is a Yubel player going to ruin my run, or am I going to be able to do something to kind of counteract that? And that's what the Drago is for. Off of the Heavenly Spheres balance and just put yourself into the best position that you possibly can. Ooh, we have our Chimera good pile here. I do see that we are not doing the Evil Hero cards, which is fine. We are doing the Diablaze in here. We're also doing the Light Hexial Fusion. Ooh, we're getting kind of spicy out here. We're also doing the Silhouette Rabbit in here. That way, you can deploy the Rabbit, deploy the Azaroon, so you have the extra layer of protection, which is good. And, of course, the Book of Eclipses for that defensive option. You're actually, the fact we are playing the Aluber in here, But, I mean, you have the triple opening, the triple branded fusion. So, I mean, a dimensional barrier clawing fusion is just going to end your entire day. There's not really much you can do about that, I feel like, at this point. But it is kind of cool to see, you know, people putting together the illusion good stuff piles and returning back to this deck and giving it a shot in the meta. It really does prove, hey, you know, we have some good ideas out here. We just got to figure out those correct ratios to get things going. Ooh, we have more Tenpai. Now this list, this is more my speed. Though these ratios are weird. Okay, so 2 Fadra, 1 Genroku. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Doing 2 Phantasme in the main, I can get behind that too. You got to remember Phantasme being able to have that special summon ability to get you the sculpting of the hand, you know, find you a Dark Hole or Raigeki going second. So good. All right, speaking of, we're doing 2 Dark Hole, 1 Raigeki? Does that matter? Does it matter what choice of destructors we're actually playing here, as long as, you know, we got a combination of the 3? Okay. I also see, you know, we have the droplets in here as well. Hey, call it what it is, all right? Being able to control your opponent's going to be good. I see we have a cute little side deck choice down here with kaijus as well. You do see the Chimera Drago defensive line as well. And we got 1 nice little anti-scam fragrance in here. Ah, delicious. All right. Woo, our Snake Eyes list. 45 big ones in here. You do see we are playing the Azaroon in the main deck, so, I mean, if you want to cut the Azaroon package, you can go down to a nice 44. It really depends what you want to do. You do have the Angel of Blue Tears down here and the Curry Photon as well. I'm very happy to know Angel of Blue Tears is finally getting that rarity upgrade too. It's going to look in line with the rest of this deck for what you can do. I see we also have crossouts down here galore. That way, you know, you can stop the power cards. And, of course, that Curry Photon. That Curry Photon is getting huge mileage. You might not realize it, but, you know, having a whole Tenpai player's turn end is really, really strong. Yeah, the current Fiendsmith deck has been pretty much figured out. There's nothing really too crazy that you have to look at or think about with this. For the most part, it's just good to go. Like, welcome to the era of what we can and can't actually have fun with. Next up here, ooh, more Tenpai. Now this build is doing 2 Fadra, 2 Genroku, but they are main decking the Chimera Drago. That's insane. I guess, especially if you go first against Yubel and you deploy the Drago, your opponent is going to look at you and just be so confused. They're going to be like, what in the world actually just happened out here? Once again, you also have those droplets and those Raigekis built into the main deck. You are doing 1 Mulcharmy in here, which a little bit interesting. But of course, we're also packing in, that's right, we have Dark Holes and the power filters down there. So this duelist did not want to deal with anything related to Yubel, which is kind of funny, actually. Having all of this anti-Yubel hate built into this deck really, 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 really puts them in a very interesting place. Okay, sure. I'm just impressed. All right, so we have a Flaunderies list here. Now, the first thing that you can tell here is we have some interesting cards here. We don't have a side deck displayed, which I would have liked to have seen. But you do have some cool tech choices in here. You do have these the Tribute Fodder for the basically deploying the M-Pen during the opponent's turn by using your opponent's cards, and your opponent can't tribute the M-Pen, which is really cool. And then we have the Bat in here as well. I'm also assuming that there was an extra deck of like 15 joke cards you could literally pick up because they are playing the Pot of Prosperities in here. But this is very cute. I didn't expect this deck to be one of the ones playing the Blue Eyes Soul Exchange card, but that's really, really cute that someone out here found a method to want to mess around with this. Seems very, very good. Hey, Flu players, I'll be honest with you. You guys are struggling out here, but you've got some really cute things to try to make the deck a lot better. And then, wow, 1st and 8th place, we're both Fiendsmith Yubel. Okay, well, this list playing the Mulcharmy package down on the side deck, you know, still going to be drawing up as many power cards as you actually can. I do see, we are playing actual triple Nibiru in the main deck. It's actually kind of cool to see. I mean, you take your poison and witch hand traps. You actually kind of want to bounce back and forth on out here. You know, do I need X power cards, or do I need, you know, adding on into other answers? But all these Yubel list, pretty much are covering their bases, which is pretty solid. So what do you guys think about these decks? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.